I like looking at it and watching it and seeing what's going on, but I don't want to be in it. I like talking about it now.
Would you ever? I got just a couple of different questions, small questions for you. Two more, anyways. But
Go ahead.
would you ever like consider being like a political commentator or something like that?
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I would love to. There are very few people that have had different jobs in the political experience. Most people have been legislative jobs. They never have been executives. And then when you're talking about issues of, criminal justice.
Yeah.
There's not very many people who have legislated criminal justice bills.
Yeah.
Wrote them and legislated them.
Yep.
Had to deal with the police officers in the street and what they deal with on the corner every day. Had to be in a city where police officers killed a citizen, or a citizen killed a police officer, community police relations. And then at the same time, they've been an inmate.
Yeah.
They've been inside a courtroom in the feds, as what T. Grizz said, the federal courtroom. 10 toes down, in a federal courtroom, and also in a state courtroom, and had to be in a state prison and a federal prison, and had to live the life of an inmate, not a popular inmate, not an inmate. You can't get a Band-Aid unless you live to the store. So I mean, that experience is different. And I would love to talk to people about how we do real policy around criminal justice system. We could fix some of the problems there, not all of them, because it's always a new group of people that are coming. These young guys are gonna keep coming in.
Yeah.
But there's some things that we could do to take the air out of some of the folks that's been there that's doing all right.
Yeah. Well, and then my last question for you is, what do you think about the new face of political commentators that are taking over what's coming on as far as social media and things like that? Like, when I think of political commentators, when I look at it from both sides, I look at like a Candace Owens, right? And then, on the other side, it's a lot of different people, but there's nobody that's more galvanizing, it seems like, than like a Candace Owens or a Ben Shapiro. Or somebody like that. What do you think about the rise of a lot of these people that have a lot of power and a lot of followers that are then galvanizing a specific base, like a Candace Owens or somebody like that?
I'm kind of different on that because I like her.
Yeah, I like her too.
I like her. I do.
I really like her.
I like to dissect what people say instead of what people think about what people say.
Yeah.
Once because I could tell you like that. You want to hear what they say.
I love to see what people say.
And when she says something, I'm waiting. I go.
Yeah, I mean, what she didn't really wasn't off on that.
I think it's important to have a different perspective out there from our community. That we're not a monolithic community. We don't all line up behind the same issues. We have different lives. We live different places. We have different, but I would like to be able to talk to a Candace Owens and say, you know what, I love you, but I disagree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's missing in our community more than anything. And I'm hopeful, because that exists in the Jewish community.
Yeah.
It exists in the Latino community. There could be two Mexican Americans right on the thing, and one of them is like anti-immigrant. Don't you come to?
Yeah.
They should get in the right way. My father came to this country. He went through the right thing and all this kind of stuff. And the other one could be a bleeding heart about what we do with immigrants.
Yeah.
And how are we treating these people at the border? But at the end of the day, they're shaking hands.
Yeah.
And we are, trashing each other. And I just think that that's something that we do. Political commentary, it's something missing in it, and that's urban policy. You don't hear a lot of people talking about what's going on the streets politically in the communities that matter in America, to the Democratic Party especially. We don't have anybody on there that's reflective and really has the expertise to know what happens in the dynamics of politics in the streets of Detroit or Chicago or Philadelphia or New York.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's missing in the political commentary, because it hasn't mattered to this point. But if somebody can get in there and start to move those people to start thinking differently, I think that you could see an army being, rising across America that could they can listen to all points of views before making a decision. And that's what I think the ultimate goal should be.
I think it's you, man. I think it's you. I honestly do. See, you don't give yourself enough credit. I think it's you. I think that you have a greater purpose. I've been telling my wife this behind the scenes for a while, and then when I talked to you the last time, it just confirmed it for me. And I know what I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
No, you're
But
pretty sharp now.
but I'm able to identify, what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And I can see talent, and I just know. Every time, it's very few people that come through the door. It's some, but very few people that come through the door that leave me like, oh man, that dude he just know too much. Like, there's no way that we can just let that not come to fruition and give this, shine some light on this, because it's too much that's not being said that that's in that head, that I gotta somehow, some way ask the right questions to be able to get it out of you, which is one of the reasons why I don't plan my questions before you come in, man. It's too much. I'm not, listen, the people, I'm not going to let Mr. Mayor, I'm calling him Mr. Mayor, I'm not letting Mr. Mayor, as much as I can get as much information and try to convince him to continue to take this journey down this social media path, I'm going to do it.
I appreciate it. One of the things I recognized when I got out of prison is that no matter how hard you try, you're going to be institutionalized in some type of way.
Really?
I don't care how smart you are, how great you think you are. Mm-hmm. You live in that environment for over 5 years. You're going to conform in some ways to the environment. And it's the only way to survive it, actually. And so getting out and even learning about there were no podcasts.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And so understanding now that, I'm asking, why people got these podcasts? Then I'm hearing some of these guys are making millions from podcasts. I said, what?
Oh, yes.
I said, what how do they do that? So I definitely appreciate that, because in rebranding, remaking yourself, and in learning, I'm a student again, and I like that. I like seeing, what's out here, what can I get involved in, and then all of us have certain gifts from God.
Yeah.
And so, how do I manifest that gift in a different way that I did before? And this is something I like to do. I like to sit up and kick it, and if we can. Have a place, because I'm gonna take what you just said. I'm gonna receive that.
You are the camera. And like I said, Mi Casa Suka, this is your platform, and whatever it is that I got to do to make sure that I keep Mr. Mayor in front of the camera is exactly what I'm gonna do.